Hello, John Lord here, and today I'm going to talk about weeds. And the thing about weeds, it's one of these parts of gardening that a lot of television gardeners or gardeners in book, they sort of skim over as if they're sort of like a family secret that should be kept secret, that no one should know about. But weeds, if you allow weeds to control your garden, you will spend all your time weeding and very little time gardening. So you should be ruthless with weeds, because they will take over if you're not careful. You have to be and you have to know your weeds. And this is a perennial. I just happened to see this weed here today, and see it in there, that green. Now this is the spent flower heads of an aster, small little aster, and the weed is called Vicia cracca, it's vetch. And it climbs, it has little tendrils, and it's closely related to the pea. It's a type of pea really, a vetch. And it has a seed, quite a big seed, about half the size of the pea. So it's got a lot of energy, and if the seed happens to fall beside the plant, it has a lot of resources to get established and be able to compete with the plant. And once it gets established, it starts to run at the root. It runs under the ground, then it comes back up again, and then it runs again. And if that was left, believe it or not, if that was ignored, in 10 years time it will be here, it will be grown through the hedge, it will be through the grass, it will be out there, and it would have seeded all over the place. It would start coming up over here and up over there. So we're going to knock it on the head, because I've been caught with this plant before. I've had to take borders apart to remove this plant before, so we're going to get it early, and we're going to have a look how to do it. Now we're going to use a fork. You always use a fork, because a spade breaks up the roots, the long roots, and you want to try and keep the roots of the weed intact, get as much as possible. Now two forks, you have the little small border fork, and you have the normal digging fork. And we'll try the border fork. We'll have a look, see what we're doing. And this is going to be tricky, and we have to follow. This is very tricky, and obviously can't use weed killer. Maybe we'll use the bigger fork. Can't use weed killer because you'll kill the plant. So this is old-fashioned. So we'd have to dig the plant up. Now you can see the problem. If this was let get out of hand, how would you control it? Well, it has to be got. Now, nothing here. A few grubs. Nothing in here. We've got some little grubs or other, you see them, but we leave them alone. They're not doing me any harm, so we won't do them any harm. Now when we'll see, can we get to the base? This is actually almost impossible to get out. It's so much to be caught in with the roots. So what we're going to do is, we're not even going to bother. We try and get it out, but we're not going to bother even putting this back. We're going to take a piece from here and put it in there. We're not even going to bother. That's how serious it is. See how I can't even find it. It's in here somewhere. And all we're finding is these grubs. As I say, they're not doing the plants any harm, so we won't do them any harm. And the Vicia, there it is there. But I think it's so caught up with the plant that we can't get it out. It's a pity, because it has a very long, very white root, and it's very, very distinctive. But what we'll do instead a little gap here. And weed is all gone. We'll just check. Get down a bit deeper to see if there are any weed roots. No, nothing there. But we just maybe dig a little piece up here. That's it. And that's it. No one will ever be the wiser. And that will go into the compost heap because we don't want this weed to go anywhere else. But that was a stitch in time saves 9.